to us, everybody in this room. Right? This is our first event, and it will not be our last. I'd like to thank Mike and his wife for coming and bringing their coffee on the cold brew. Mike Shea's Coffee next door. Literally the best coffee ever. Okay? So if anybody wants to talk to them, go for it. I'd like to just talk a little bit about what we're going to do. So for the next month, we're going to be doing the nutrition challenge, all right? And I just want to give a little history. I've had a lot of ups and downs with different diets. I think I've tried them all. There's not one I haven't tried, all right? Especially coming from a fighting background, just always trying to gain and lose weight. I went through all of them, all right? So I actually, didn't want to get into the whole paleo challenge with the gym, all right, which maybe some of us are familiar with. I know Denise and Jamie, you guys have done a lot of paleo challenges. I always felt the paleo diet wasn't perfect, okay? I thought it was perfect for extreme weight loss and maybe an elimination diet, right, to see where our body is. But what I never liked about the paleo challenge is there were no carbs in it, okay? I didn't feel there was enough carbs to fuel my performance in the gym, and performance in the gym is first and foremost. All right, if we focus on performance in the gym, everything else will fall into place. Our body will change, right? Our lifestyles will change. We'll get healthier. We'll get fitter. So I think first and foremost, that's what we should be focusing on. I've seen too many people paleo themselves into a hole. All right, and they just are weak, tired, headaches after a lot of intense exercise. Okay, so along the lines, I've basically, found different diets that work. One of which is Derek and Jared's diet. So I want to introduce them. All right, this is Derek Pontier, Jared Mello. For all you don't know, they run Ironrx Nutrition, and I believe their diet programs are one of the best out there. All right, I've seen it work with my own eyes. I know it is perfect for our needs as CrossFitters and weightlifters, or anybody who intensely trains, all right? They've helped athletes, CrossFitters, weightlifters. There's not one person that they haven't helped with this diet. They're very intelligent. They both have their master's degrees, all right, in exercise science. I can't even say enough of them. They say words that I don't even understand sometimes. Okay, so
You don't say this stuff.
I don't admit this to them, but I'll admit it to you guys, all right? And this is why immediately when I met them, I knew that they were going to be important in the community. All right, so I'm going to let them talk a little bit about this nutrition challenge, which will be going on for the next month. And after on, if you have any questions, you can ask now, okay?
So, well, Jared's finished.
Yeah, so when Jared's finished, I'm going to let Sarah talk about a little bit of the point system. There's one over here. Yeah. So we have a point system laid out, okay? This is going to be a month-long challenge. You're going to be accountable for gaining points and losing points. We have everything laid out in the packet that you received, and then also all of you have individually gotten your macronutrient count, which you'll be told about if you haven't really quite understood what that is. But our point system will work. Sarah's going to explain how it works, and we'll go from there.
No.
So why don't you do that?
So there's different ways that we can earn points. Every day with 0 points. You start every day fresh. You can gain your points in a bunch of different ways. You get 1 point for coming here to CrossFit WolfKing and doing the workout. Strength day, endurance day, gymnastics day, doesn't matter what day it is. If you're here and you work out, you give yourself that point. Another point is checking into CrossFit WolfKing and hashtagging Ironrx Nutrition Challenge. You need to do both. Those people who may not be on Facebook or Instagram, we do have a way that we can work around that for you so that you can still get that point if you're not putting that. Whether you have a wife that can do it for you, or you have a family that
off the grid Marie. It's off the grid.
You get a point for drinking your workout shake. Once you get your personalized macronutrients, you'll realize that for the time of day that you're working out, that during that workout, there's a specific workout shake with carbs and sugars in it that you're supposed to drink a little bit before the workout and the rest throughout the workout. You drink that shake, it's a huge, you guys will get more into it, but it's a huge part of this diet plan. So you get a point just for doing that. You get a point for not cheating all day. You hit those macros, you get it right on the dot, you get a point. Easy as that. You get a point for drinking half of your body weight in ounces for the day. So if you weigh 140 pounds, 70 ounces of water for the day, and you're done. It sounds a lot harder than it really is. If you just keep a gallon with you, I have a water bottle that has the ounces marked on it. I fill it up to what I need, and as long as I drink that for the day, I'm done. You'll be in the bathroom a lot though, trust me. You get a point for getting 8 hours of sleep. So if you get 8 hours of sleep the night before, this is the hardest one. This is the hardest, especially the 5:30 a.m.ers. You know, you get the kids, you gotta get the kids ready for the next day, and then you gotta get up at 4:30 to get in here for 5:30. That's a tough one, but if you can get that, it will make a huge difference. You'll see when you come in here, you'll feel that much better. So you can earn up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points a day. Okay? You can lose points too, though. For every alcoholic drink you have is 1 point. I have 2 glasses of wine, I get 2 points taken off. I have 5 glasses of wine, 5 points taken off. So if, choose your cheats wisely, that's a tough one for people too. The weekend comes around and Friday night, you want that glass of wine. Is it worth that 1 point?
I'd stay negative the whole time.
Just fill 1 glass of wine to the top.
To the top. One glass.
How big is your glass?
Yeah, the bottle is a self-contained thing, right? One box.
You get 1 point off for not hitting all of your macros. So if you are under, you take 1 point off. If you go over those macros, 2 points off for the day. If you have a day that you just didn't follow anything, you just had, the whole day is just gone, 3 points off for that. So I have a spreadsheet that I made up that I'm going to send to all of you guys as well, just to keep track. It'll tally everything up for you, so all you have to do is keep track throughout the day, punch it in for the day, and then at the end of the 30 days, it'll give you all of your points. We're going by the honor system, we trust all of you guys to be
I'm
honest.
an excellent character reader and lie detector. I am the best. Nobody's better than this, so I will know.
So we're leaving it, we're putting it on you guys to keep track of your points, and we'll take your total at the end of the 30 days. So does anybody have any questions about how...
Any questions so long? We're going to let Derek and Jared explain how the Iron diet works. Yeah? All right.
Yep.
Without further ado,
I'm going to hand it over to these guys.
So, yeah, just before we get started, Jared and I want to thank Keith, Sarah, and Mike, and Juliana. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry. The coffee's keeping us going now.
If we can't understand him, it's his fault.
Yeah. So before we get into the specifics about how the diet's going to work and how the macronutrients are broken down, I just want to go over real quick why we think it's so important to do a diet this way rather than just doing paleo or something else. The diets that we make are individualized to each person. Everyone in this room has different caloric needs because they do different things throughout the day. They work out different times of the day, different amounts each time they work out. So there's a big variance from person to person. The other reason being that you're all here because you're athletes in some form. You do CrossFit, and that is pretty demanding. Things like paleo, things like zone, you typically don't get the right level of carbohydrates being the big one. So your workouts suffer and you don't realize it. If your workouts suffer, you're not burning as many calories, you're not improving, you're not building as much muscle. If you hit those numbers, we break them down for you, that's going to make a huge difference in your performance in the gym, and you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, and it changes a lot. I think when I started doing this diet on my own, I was about 245 pounds, and I got down to 200 pounds. Looked the best I'd ever looked in my entire life. Went off the rails a second. This is what it is, that's why we're doing this too. So Jared's going to start going through, does everyone have one of those packets?
I think for the most part, yeah.
Who needs a packet?
Anybody want to know that?
Raise your hand if you need a packet.
Want to follow it? Yeah, take it again. Anyone else?
Do you have this packet? You think you know what you're talking about?
No. That knows everything.
So again, these diets are completely individualized, even for just this month. We've done it all based off of the numbers Keith and Sarah gave us. So you're going to be guided to lose weight at a predetermined amount per week. The smaller you are, the less you're going to lose per week. Simply because if you lose too much too fast, we all know there's that rebound, and you might lose a bunch and then gain it all back, and that's not what we're looking for. So again, this is very, very specific to you as an individual.
I think the general rule of thumb is about 1.5% of your body weight per week is like kind of the minimum diet you lose. So obviously, like Derek said, the bigger you are, the more you lose. The lighter you are to start, the less you lose effectively. Because I think everyone has seen, you drop 40 pounds in 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks later you gain 50. So that's the 1.5% of your body weight is the best way to go to make sure that doesn't happen. So that being said, we can move on to the principles behind the Iron Diet. The biggest thing to start is just eat good food and eat real food. So Annie's mac and cheese, even though it's delicious, probably isn't the best way to go for your carbohydrate intake. There are plenty of things like sweet potatoes, rice, could be white or brown. I'm not a big pusher of either direction. I think both of them.
You even do wheat bread and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't mind that. It's totally okay. And we've seen people get incredible results. You like eating bread, which is really nice.
Right.
It's delicious.
The wonder, that's another thing, the wonder of this diet is it's not restrictive where some like paleo can be, where it's like you can only eat this type of food, that type of food, and then forget everything else. This, essentially you can eat whatever you want. Like I said though, you will see better results if you go for the real food over, the processed foods. But, you have to go with what's available. We also use nutrient timing principles, which we'll get into a little bit later. Nutrient timing has to do with when you eat your meals and what your meals are consisted of, depending on when you exercise.
So we give you, if you look at your diet real quick, we give you 4 different timing options. Everyone right now has a hard day template. Sorry, you don't. So what we're doing is giving you the option. If you work out first thing in the morning, if you're a 5:30 a.m. person, that's how your day should look. Is the first one. The next one down would be if you work out at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then early afternoon and late afternoon. That way, the foods you're eating coincide with the amount of energy you're going to be spending and how your body responds best to ingesting them. So we have a bunch of carbs right around our workout because they fuel us, and then they replenish our glycogen. If our glycogen's replenished, we can burn more fat. So we stay on top of that by replenishing the carbs as soon as we're done. So we give you those 4 timing options, and if you guys have questions, by the way, you're more than welcome to ask. But, yeah.
And just so you know, glycogen is just what your muscles use to burn for energy. It's the stored form of sugar in your body. That's pretty much the easiest way to do it. The next biggest thing is drink water. Obviously, it's big. It was a great idea that Keith and Sarah came up with as far as drinking half your body weight in water in ounces. We normally hadn't included that in our diet before, but I actually really like it as an idea. So that's big. Make sure you stay hydrated. Especially for people that are on leans, water is going to be huge to help keep you full. Instead of, you going like, oh man, I'm really hungry, those Oreos look great. But if you just, if you make sure you just keep drinking enough water, it'll sit in your stomach, and your brain will notice that your stomach has liquid in it, and you won't feel hungry.
And your workouts will be better because you'll be hydrated.
Right. You have more energy too.
So we kind of went over what nutrient timing was, in the sense that our diets really want you to follow what to eat when. Nutrient timing is a big part of the diet because, like I mentioned before, it really, if you're timing things well, your body responds better. If you're eating a ton of fat after a workout, you're not going to respond as well because it slows down the digestion of the carbs and the protein, which you need to recover. But you still need fat, you just eat it at different points throughout the day. I think one of the coolest things that I noticed with the diet is people will see a huge change in their body composition, even if their weight doesn't drop, which is sort of strange, but once you start eating the right types of food, within a week it's noticeable. And it's because of that time.
Which brings us into the next part about macros. That's short for macronutrients. Everyone always talks about macros. You probably hear it fits your macros, that whole diet. That's a whole other story though. All macros are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Technically, you can count water as your fourth macro, but generally people just recognize the three. And that is how our diet is broken down. You'll see it on your templates. It'll tell you what your intake for carbohydrate, protein, and fat is. Protein stays consistent throughout the day. Fats and carbohydrates range depending on when you're exercising. So each person has their own total number of calories that you need in a day. The biggest part of this diet to be successful, or any diet really, is total caloric intake. I think it's 50%. 50% of a diet's success is just on total calories in a day.
So if you're eating McDonald's every day, but you're in a caloric deficit, you lose weight, but you look like shit.
Right.
Okay?
That's
pretty
how.
simple.
I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, that guy actually did it. Was it Morgan
It's the
Spurlock?
same guy who did Super Size.
Yeah, Morgan Spurlock. He ate McDonald's every day for a month and he lost like 20 pounds.
And he almost died.
But it's simple because he was probably only consuming 900 calories a day. I mean, you can eat 900 calories in chocolate cake, the same thing. But your insides like.
That's the diet that makes you hate cake forever.
So like Derek was saying, we go one step forward, or one step more than that, and not only just breaking down what to eat in proportion, but also when, depending on your exercise.
I forgot to get into this, but something that's really helpful is a food scale that costs like $7 on Amazon. It's incredibly convenient to use if you're at home or you're portioning your meals out. Put your Tupperware on there, put the right amount of food in there, you're all done. Like that's it. You don't have to think about it. You know what you can eat.
So the next thing is carbs. Do you want to tackle this one? I know you love talking about this.
So, like we said before, carbs are super important for performance and the diet in general. There's this big misconception that like carbs are the worst thing in the world, and without carbs, or if you don't eat carbs, you're going to lose a ton of weight. And that's true because carbs they hold water in your body. So if you cut out all the carbs, you lose all that water. You're not really losing weight. You're not really losing fat. But you're not losing fat. You're losing weight because you're not holding water. So the first time you have any carbs, your body retains a ton of water. You gain all that back. You're not happy. You lose satisfaction with the diet. The other thing being, with carbs, we talked about the glycogen and everything. They're so essential to human function that if you don't have them, you're not going to operate as well at work, at home, anywhere. It's just getting the right type, whether it's sweet potato or bread, like good bread, stuff like that. That makes a big difference. This is so good. Yeah, no wonder. It's pretty simple. We don't want to get too bogged down on the specifics, but carbs are really good for you. Eat the right carbs, eat them at the right time, you will lose weight. There's a saying in nutrition that fat only burns in a fire of carbs. And what happens is when you take in carbs, you're able to break down the fat. If you don't take in carbs, you cut the head off of fat, it circulates through your body, and when it gets to another fat cell, it just reattaches. Not really.
Science. Master's degrees over.
What's up?
I'm not that I'm never hungry, but I feel like, is there a way to like, I just feel like I don't eat enough because I'm never, is there a way to get yourself trained to eat instead of like, I don't want to eat until like 3, I haven't eaten today. So 3 o'clock, then I'll get hungry. I know it sounds stupid, but I think that's a lot of, really, you just don't think about it.
Are you very
I get on that.
You're super busy.
Yeah.
So making it a habit is a big part of it. Most people don't eat enough to lose weight.
Yeah.
So what happens is the metabolism slows down super hard. When your metabolism slows down, you retain fat, you don't get as strong. It's a really strange thing to have people eat so much food, lose weight, and not want to finish their meals, which is what happens when we do this.
It's a huge misconception to eat less and lose more. It's the total opposite, right? You need food to keep the metabolism going. You need good, healthy food.
Yeah.
The more you eat, the more you start to eat, the more your stomach will want the food.
Okay.
The
Because I
more
feel
your
like
body
I'm
will
not
feel
We'll
it.
definitely have to build that in.
Is that even me? You know what I mean? Like,
I hate the moment. Huh?
it sounds stupid, I know that.
Yeah, what do you eat now?
I eat like, well, when I eat good, but I can go all day and then at 2:30 and be like, oh, I'll have a salad but I think it's just my, I don't know what it is, why I can't get up and eat.
I've seen it happen before with a lot of people. It's just, we're going to have to change that habit. We don't have to
maybe
start
it's
by
habit.
getting everything at once. But and if other people have issues like that where they have weird eating habits, changing them little by little is going to be way better than being like, nope, now you have to eat all this all the time right
Right.
now.
Well, when I eat, it's not that I eat bad, but I find myself, I'm not hungry. Like, I'll get up, I'm not hungry, I'll work out, then I'll do something else, and then, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have
Absolutely.
nothing set.
And that's where you guys come in too, is you can, check in, make sure your people around you are eating, hitting your macros, and doing everything.
Yeah, you guys should be holding each other accountable.
That's why these things, they have success. Like when you have someone that holds you accountable, it's a huge difference.
It's why most diets fail too.
Yeah.
People that just try and do them on their own. They find something online. They follow it for like 2 weeks, and then they're like, "Okay, I'm going back. That pizza looks really good." You know, so don't even make it 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So keys to success, kind of similar to what you're saying. How to be successful when you're following the diet. The biggest thing, the biggest piece of advice that I think we can all give to you is preparation, meal prep. That is going to be huge. Personally, I have found myself in a situation where we could crush it and like meal prep, and we get our meals ready for 2 or 3 days. Realistically, probably a day and a half because we haven't so much. But and it works great. But then there are days where we don't meal prep, and Derek and I look at each other and be like, "Campbell's pizza?"
You'll be surprised you'll have no problem eating healthy if it's really convenient.
Right.
So meal prep, put them in separate containers in your fridge.
That's not even right.
Already have everything in the fridge.
That's what I think. I don't, there's nothing.
Set your phone timer for your meals, and then there it is.
And all it takes too is like an hour, maybe an hour and a half on a Sunday.
You guys
Everyone's
have
just
a slow
hanging
cooker?
out. Yeah, the slow cookers are great. You can batch cook like 4 or 5 pounds of chicken, turkey, beef, whatever you want, make it, and that'll last
Added
you
some peppers.
probably like 3 or 4 days. So all it takes is just twice a week. It doesn't have to be like a Sunday and a Wednesday if you want to cook on Tuesdays and Fridays, whatever. But you're going to need at least 2 days a week to meal prep and get yourself set up. Just do yourself a favor, set yourself up for success. And you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball.
Because it might take an hour to make 3 days of food, but it also takes 30 minutes to make 2 meals.
And everybody on the challenge, we're going to be sharing lots of recipes. Okay, we have books and books of really good recipes for ready to go stuff. All right, we're going to hold each other accountable. We're going to make sure you can check in with us, you can check in with them.
We're going to make Rubbermaid a lot of money, and Tupperware.
Make sure too, I know a lot of
So
people
if you don't have stock, you can buy it.
a lot of people don't like rubber containers. If you don't like rubber containers, go buy some of those glass ones.
Yeah.
They work great. I don't think there's rubber, but that's
The other thing, a big key to success too, is to be proud of what you're doing. A lot of times you'll be in a circle like today, like we all are of like-mindedness and similar goals. But if you go to work and your whole co-workers are there, and the whole
Pull out your glass
office.
Tupperware and everyone starts judging you.
Right. And the office is like, oh hey, it's Thursday, like we're all going to get pizza. Like, do you want to go? It's like, no, sorry, I got my little Tupperware all ready to go. And I mean, people might be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you such a weirdo? But the biggest thing is to be proud. To be like, you know what? Like, that's fine. You go have that and do whatever you want. But you're going to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I wish I could change my body. And I'm going to look at it and be like, I look sexy. You know? I mean, that's you have to be proud. Like, you have to live it and you have to love it too. You know, because you're probably going to run into that. And if you want to go for the social aspect,
And it's not
telling you not to, but just be smart.
And the beauty is too, if you do go out to dinner, you can kind of, with the way we lay it out,
Yeah.
you can actually figure out what you eat pretty quick.
Right.
It's kind of nice.
Right. So it's not like other diet programs where you're like, oh my god, I can never go out to eat again because nothing in the restaurant is going to fit what I need to eat. This, like we've been saying, all it is just numbers. So you go to a restaurant, you get whatever fits the numbers in there, and you're good. It doesn't matter. You know, it's not super restrictive.
Come back.
All right.
Obviously, it makes you feel better too, right? Because I don't think I feel that good
Oh,
after a
yeah.
workout.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
That's
but
certainly
I should
something.
feel like I have energy.
You'll all be amazed at how good you feel. And like, give it 5 days. You're not going to believe how good you feel when you work out or throughout the day.
Usually I'm so tired. I shouldn't be tired.
I honestly believe in watching Sarah go through when she started this diet. Sarah suffered from migraines terribly, low energy. I'll be honest, I believe it was the change in diet that was responsible for Sarah's migraines going away. Okay, not only that, when I met Sarah, she was on paleo. She was about 15 pounds less than she is now, and she looked worse than she does now. She's about 15 pounds heavier. That's all you're wrong. Yep, I have that choice of words sometimes. Okay?
You know what you meant.
She looks great now, but what I'm saying is
It doesn't phase me because I know what you mean.
she was 15 pounds lighter.
That's a compliment.
But in society, you think lighter is better. But I didn't believe so. Okay, I think she looks better 15 pounds heavier. And also, her energy, no more migraines, that's the way she eats.
We had a diet client who she attributes leveling out her thyroid problem and her lupus to the diet, to the way that the meals are broken down, to the small controllable portions her body was able to regulate, and she said she's never felt better in her entire life. It's just from that nutrient timing part.
And that's this challenge, you know, I know especially females, we're so focused on the scale and the number on the scale. Will it change? Yes, it will change. But we are going to notice the biggest changes, how we feel, the body composition, our before and after pictures with the phone. That's what we're going to notice the biggest difference. And how we feel when we're working. Our workouts are we're gonna have so much more energy. So just try to stay away from but the scale isn't dropping drastically. That's not what we're looking for in this challenge. You know, we're looking for some of us do want to lose some weight. That's a good goal to have, but we don't want to focus just on that.
Well, that's another thing I missed also that I'd like to touch on before we move on is I put some people on bulk diets, okay? And a lot of you have known me long enough to know that you can put your absolute trust in me. I do believe some of us could benefit from gaining muscle and gaining weight, okay? Especially with a lot of our injuries, right? When I look at a knee that has trouble and I see no muscle around it, I'm sorry, you need muscle, okay? And I want to disassociate the word bulk with getting fat, okay? I don't want the word bulk to scare people away and think that I'm bulking, meaning I'm getting fat. Because this diet is so you cannot gain muscle unless you are in a calorie surplus, okay? Just like you cannot lose fat unless you are in a calorie deficit. That's the science behind it all. So bulk just means adding a little bit more calories to support muscle growth, and not enough to support fat growth, or lots of fat growth. Okay, so I want everybody that has been put on a bulk diet to just trust in the process, okay, and to know it is just a It's just the beginning of a longer goal, all right, that we'll get to.
I mean, if you're here again, the goal isn't always. It's not the number on the scale. It's how you look in the mirror and it's how you feel throughout the day.
I've seen bulk diets on Ironrx where you wouldn't even be amazed at the abs on the people that are on bulk diets. You know, Jake and Tina did it. I mean, it's just, I've seen bulk diets on this, and the body composition was just excellent. Okay, so disassociate the word bulk with getting fat. All right, gaining weight and getting fat. Okay.
How many people in here have used protein supplements in the past? I would have thought there would be more. Okay. So there's two different types of protein we want you guys to get. It's on your diet and it explains it. There's whey and casein. So you get a quick thing about casein. If you're like me and you have issues with texture, buy a small amount of casein first. Try it out. Because the last time I drank casein, I threw up in the sink because it's the most disgusting thing in the world for me. Jared drinks it every night. He's totally cool with it. But like, just so you know, don't buy a huge one and be like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. I'm never gonna touch it.
So the best advice I can give for drinking casein is don't put it in a shaker bottle with a little blender thing in there, because if you shake it up in the bottle, it gets like little curds in it, and that's the texture thing.
Curds and whey, that like little foam.
Yeah.
There's two parts to milk. There's whey and there's casein, and that's the curds.
So to fix that, if you have a blender, it works out great for us because we have one of those little ninja blenders. You just pop it in like a single serving thing, and if you blend it up, there's no curds. It's thicker than